Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a really common issue, something many of you, especially if you're in Parkland, Washington, probably know well. It's that way unwanted items just seem to, well, appear, almost magically accumulate.
Right, like tribbles, but less furry.
Exactly. So we've got some interesting info here from Rapid Haul Away. They're a local service that specializes in this. And our goal isn't just to list what they do. We want to dig into, why this clutter happens, the different ways you can tackle it, and maybe uncover some unexpected benefits of finally clearing things out.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Think of Rapid Haul Away as kind of bridging that gap,
Yeah.
the one we all bump into. It's not your regular weekly trash pickup.
Nope.
And it's usually not enough to justify renting a huge, construction dumpster. It's all that stuff in between. The things that are just there, taking up space.
That collection, the stuff that just seems to breed in corners, right? Basements, garages, we're talking everything from, general clutter, the obvious things, but also that old sofa, maybe.
Or the washing machine that died years ago.
Yeah. Or old mattresses, that hot tub that's seen better days.
Oh, definitely hot tubs.
Leftover bits from DIY projects, constant yard waste. It's actually a pretty wide range when you think about it.
And it makes sense, right? For people living busy lives, especially around Parkland, finding the time, finding the energy, frankly, to deal with all this, it feels like a whole other chore list.
It really does. Life moves fast, and then boom, you look around and you're sort of surrounded by things that just aren't useful anymore.
It's almost inevitable in places like Parkland, isn't it? That spare room, it just slowly morphs, becomes a storage locker.
Without you even really planning it. And yeah, our regular waste services, they're just not set up for the big, bulky items, or even large amounts of smaller stuff sometimes.
Exactly. So that's where a service like Rapid Haul Away kind of slots in, offers a more targeted solution.
And let's be honest, a solution that doesn't involve you throwing your back out.
Absolutely. What seems interesting about their approach, based on what we're seeing, is this focus on reliability and clear communication. They actually mention showing up when they say they will.
Which sounds basic, but isn't always a given.
Right. Charging the price they quoted and really treating your property respectfully. They even contrast it, saying, sometimes big franchises disappoint.
That emphasis on trust on a straightforward deal, that definitely stands out.
Yeah, it feels more personal.
And it seems they get that it's not just about, hauling junk. It's about different situations. Sometimes it's a small decluttering job, one room maybe. Other times it's a huge life event, like clearing out a whole house.
And they offer that flexibility, adapting to what you actually need.
Plus, they make starting pretty easy. Free quotes, just text them a picture or hop on their website. Seems simple enough.
Okay, so let's dig into some of those specific situations. A really common one, you mentioned, is spare rooms, basements, how they just slowly become these unofficial archives. We put things there thinking, oh, I might need this again someday.
Ah, the classic someday pile. Or box. Or room. We all have one somewhere, don't we? But what Rapid Haul Away seems to offer is hitting the fast forward button on that someday.
Yeah.
They come in, handle the sorting, do the heavy lifting, make sure it's all disposed of correctly.
Right, freeing up that space. And that space can be surprisingly valuable.
Definitely. And think about real estate pros in Parkland. This could be a huge help for them.
Oh, yeah. A decluttered home, it just looks bigger, feels better. Lets buyers actually picture themselves living there.
It photographs better, shows better. That can absolutely translate into stronger offers, faster sales.
Good point. Now, shifting gears a bit, there are situations that need a more urgent or sensitive touch, like estate cleanouts or maybe foreclosure situations.
Right, those times often linked to big life changes, and usually there's a real need to clear a property, sometimes quite quickly.
Exactly. It could be dealing with a foreclosure, preparing a house for sale after someone's passed, helping someone downsize. These can be really tough emotionally, logistically.
Totally overwhelming.
Yeah. And Rapid Haul Away seems to position themselves as being able to handle that efficiently, but also with care, turning these potentially chaotic spaces back into clean, empty properties.
And it sounds like they manage the whole spectrum from big furniture down to smaller personal effects. That must be a massive weight off people's shoulders during difficult times.
For sure. Okay, let's talk garages. The classic black hole of the suburban home.
Yes. It doesn't matter how big your garage is in Parkland somehow. It just becomes a magnet for everything that doesn't have another home.
It's like the default storage zone. Bikes, old paint cans, boxes you haven't opened since you moved in.
Exactly. But I like how Rapid Holloway puts it, they call it their garage liberation service.
Liberation. That's good.
And you can just picture the relief, can't you? Finally seeing your garage floor again after maybe years.
Oh, yeah. And think about what you could actually do with that space then.
Right. Suddenly possibilities open up. It could be a workshop, maybe a home gym.
Or, crazy idea, park your car inside. Especially useful with our Pacific Northwest weather.
Well, totally. Now, sometimes the problem isn't just stuff in a space, it's the structure itself. Like, it needs to go. That's where their demolition services fit in.
Yeah, this is a step beyond just hauling junk. We're talking about dismantling things. Structures that are maybe old, falling apart, even unsafe.
What kind of things?
Well, think about like a wooden deck that's rotting away.
Ooh, yeah, hazard waiting to happen.
Or an old shed that's collapsing, maybe damaged fencing, an outdated carport that's just an eyesore.
Gotcha. So things that need to be actually taken down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they mentioned doing it carefully, disassembling things properly, not just smashing them and then hauling away all the pieces, leaving the area clean.
So it's a clean removal, ready for whatever's next.
Right. And building on that idea of clearing spaces, they offer property cleanouts too. This seems more comprehensive.
Okay, how's that different from, say, an estate cleanout?
It could be similar, but maybe broader. Like getting a whole house ready for sale, prepping a rental between tenants, or even just tackling a property that's become completely overwhelmed with stuff, inside and out.
Just a total reset, basically.
Pretty much. They talk about methodical efficiency, having the right equipment, turning chaotic properties into those, immaculate blank slates.
And the big win there, besides the clean space, is avoiding the absolute exhaustion of trying to do that yourself. A big clean out is draining.
Oh, mentally and physically. Okay, let's pivot to some specific types of junk. Appliances are a big one.
Huge and heavy. And you can't just put them on the curb usually. Plus, environmental concerns, right?
Exactly. That old fridge humming away in the garage, it's got refrigerants that need proper handling. So, Rapid Holloway mentions handling safe disconnection and removal for refrigerators, stoves, washers, dryers, dishwashers.
Works.
And making sure they're recycled responsibly. That's important. Removing those refrigerants safely, dealing with metals correctly.
Definitely. Similar issue with old TVs, right? Technology moves so fast. Oh, yeah. Flat screens get thinner, smarter, and the old ones just pile up. What do you even do with a giant tube TV anymore?
Good question. Rapid Holloway takes them, ensures they get recycled properly. Same for other old electronics, VCRs, DVD players, gaming consoles.
Getting those materials recovered, keeping hazardous stuff contained, makes sense.
Okay, for folks enjoying the greenery around Parkland, you also deal with the constant upkeep, right? Yard waste.
The never-ending story. Leaves, branches, grass clippings. It adds up fast.
Well, they offer direct collection, which sounds pretty convenient. No need to bag everything or drag it all down to the curb yourself.
That's a plus. And they mentioned coordinating with contractors, too. If you're doing, like, a big landscaping project.
Yeah, so they can handle the debris from that as well. Streamlines the process.
Okay, here's one that always seems tricky. Hot tubs.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
The backyard feature that sometimes transitions